Hello everybody, Jake Raby here, Flat 6 Innovations, shooting a very informal video with you guys today. What you're looking at is the engine bay of a 2002 Porsche 996, and this particular car is equipped with our R43, and this engine is a 4.3 liter. Now when you look at it, it's a very unassuming engine bay. You would never believe that this car is 4.3 liters. We don't like bling, we don't like overstatement. We like understatement and overachieving around here. So when you look at it, the only thing that you see that doesn't look stock, and that's only if you have an untrained eye, is this 3.8 airbox. Okay, so we robbed this from a 2007 997 Carrera S. And we've learned that this particular airbox is unparalleled when it comes to airboxes. Nothing in the aftermarket world has beat it here in our lab. So because of that, and the fact that it doesn't foul math sensors and doesn't have problems with choppy idles and all the things that the blingy guys create for you when you buy an aftermarket intake, then we have used it on a lot of our really large builds. So if you look a little closer, you'll see that we have a GT3 throttle body connected to an IPD plenum. Now we have made some changes to that plenum and a couple of changes to some other things. Now underneath the car, what you really can't see here on the dyno is the fact that it has a stock exhaust system. Other than Fister D Stage 2 modified mufflers, it has stock headers and it has stock catalytic converters. Now this car shows 125,000 miles on the odometer, which I'm going to show you here now, and those catalytic converters have 125,000 miles on them, okay? So that is pretty interesting that we are able to get this kind of power out of an engine that is 4.3 liters and has basically all stock ancillaries, okay? So with the GT3 throttle body and the IPD plenum coupled to the 3.8 airbox, a lot of people would think that to make some serious power numbers, you would have to have an ECU tune. But in this case, we have a stock ECU tune in this car. Everything with the vehicle is as factory. Nothing has changed with the gearbox, nothing has changed with the chassis, nothing has changed with the ECU tune at all. This is a stock factory ECU tune. So now we're going to show you what happens when we put this R43 created here at the Flat 6 Innovations Performance Center through its paces here on the dyno. Now I want you to see that these are rear wheel horsepower numbers, and that means we're basically going to have at least a 20% drivetrain loss exhibited when we show you the power numbers that you're going to see. Okay, so R43 Flat 6 Innovations Performance Center, I'm going to show you what it's got. So here we go. This is, of course, a very informal share of the dyno plot here. We typically don't share any dyno numbers, okay? This is very rare for me to be doing this. But, you know, we wanted to show what can happen with a stock ECU tune and some stock parts mixed with an R43 4.3 liter engine and a car with 125,000 miles on it, okay? So 351 rear wheel horsepower and 313 foot-pounds of torque, again, at the rear wheels. Now, at minimum, we're going to end up seeing a 20% drivetrain loss from this particular car. Now, that engine can be driven every day. It's a great street and track engine. It's basically getting about 25 miles per gallon if you're not getting on it very hard. And it's just a good everyday driver. It doesn't have bad manners. It still idles like stock. It still sounds stock. It's the best of every world. And, you know, there's no hype, there's no bling. It's very understated with a great amount of performance. And that's what we like to create here at the Flat 6 Innovations Performance Center. So R43, and, you know, what could happen with an ECU tune? What can happen when we couple some of our exhaust developments? What can happen when we change some other things? Well, we don't really want to show you that stuff because all the copycats will find it a lot easier to imitate than it is to originate. So we're not going to show you what we can do, we're just going to show you what we've done and what we can do for you. Can we make more power with some other enhancements? Absolutely. But are we going to lean on the general aftermarket to do that? No, we're not.